I had a request for a tutorial on my Zoom by Rage Pandas, I believe it was. Um, this isn't exactly a tutorial, but more just an in-depth review. I just wanted to say that when you start, I mean, there's a lot of great prop makers and cosplayers that can show you a lot better than I can, and the ones I learned off of. But first thing you want to start off with is a foam head, or if capable of doing it on your own head, you're gonna take either some like a plastic bag or some foil. You want to cover the head with the foil, then you're gonna cover that with duct tape. After you do that, you're gonna trace your lines. One comes right down the middle, all the way down to the chin, and the other one, it varies how you choose to do it. I initially made one where I came across like this, and then I would come with the cheek and then come in, and I cut the ear like for the because it's gonna bubble, of course, because of your ear and your head shape. So you give it, you give it that cut just so that it can lay flat. But I was actually having issue with that template, which that's why my zoom came out so small. Is I cut that and it ended up being too small for my head completely. So which I tried to resize, but as I resized it, it only got smaller because the bigger it was here, it made it come in more. So I ended up making a template to where I just went flat down, straight flat down, and then of course this is the original shape of it, but of course this guy's head is smaller than mine, so I expanded, I think, about maybe 3/8, which it ended up working perfectly. And then I made it longer. I have I guess a longer face than this guy, so excuse me. This is the template that I use for my masks, the masks I make for myself, and then I size them up off of here for when I make them for a friend or something. But you want to make your templates. You're gonna have two. Like I said, one that's gonna come across your face like this with your nose, and then this one's gonna cover the side. You put these on some 5mm foam or whatever foam you're working with. Trace them out, of course, flip them, especially if you're working with foam that's only if it's textured on another side, like the roll. Then you definitely want to flip them. If not, I mean, as long as your cuts are clean, you can just trace it, and then you glue everything together. There are different types of contact cements that you can use. You can use a glue gun, which does work, and that's how I started initially. But when you get with contact cements, I feel like it's a little bit easier because you can set everything up and then put it all together rather than gluing inch by inch. Glue it an inch and then hold it, let it dry. Glue it an inch. Which, I mean, to each its own. But I also wanted to explain. Once you put everything together, most recent thing I'm working on a Blue Beetle, but this is just a simple design. I mean, this is basically like an original thing. Now all it comes down to is imagination. Like I said, once it's put together, you can shape it how you want. I brought the chin down to give it, otherwise it kind of sits a little more flat. But for my Blue Beetle, all I did was I cut out my eyes. I put some 2mm foam, for the front, and then I added some 2mm foam for the top design. I haven't painted it; it's been plastic dipped, so that's why that it looks the way it looks. For the zoom, I cut out the eyes. Like I said, it's just up to your imagination. I cut out the eyes, grinded them with the Dremel tool, and then I just took a cutting tool and just cut out the mouth as jagged as I could, just because that's kind of more or less how he looks. Same thing with here. And then to leave this little design, you just take you take your cutting tool, cut it just about a halfway cut, hit it with the heat gun, and it'll kind of open up that cut. For the marks and like in here to kind of give it some texture look, I just took the same thing with a knife and just kind of just serrated it a little bit, just cut it up a little bit, and then also kind of give it that worn look. With this stuff you can push it and it kind of looks kind of worn. For my Deadpool, same thing, simple design. All I did was take some 2mm foam, create the eyes and then the back piece, and then I painted it. I mean, it's really nothing. Same thing with my Flash. My Flash, regular design, except I cut out the eyes, cut out the mouth, and then added the earpieces. It's all the same design. Same thing with my Catwoman that I'm working on. Cut it out, and then I designed it. Cut off, almost like this, except I cut it here, boom, boom, open the eyes, and then I added ears. I'm working on a Borderlands Psycho mask. All I did was cut, just draw out the face, and then put on some detail, and I'll get to a tutorial on that. But it's all the same. It's the same templates that you just use, and which I got a few designs in mind that I want to work on. But it's just your creativity and like what you're willing to try out. And you just got to think of stuff. There's plenty of source material all through the internet. Just give it a look. But any other questions, just hit me up on my channel. I'll try to get to you, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Hey guys, this is when I say regular or original, I mean a very generic helmet or mask or whatever you want to call it. This, like I said, is this exact same. I make it with the templates that I have. Just like I said, put it together. This one I adjusted obviously because I'm making a second Blue Beetle. But with this, I've made the Deadpool, the Catwoman, the Flash, Zoom. Like I said, all it comes down to is just how you cut it out. The earpieces, I just, made some circles, added it, drew some lightning bolts. I don't think I have any here. I'm at work. But added those on. And then, like I said, just kind of find where your eyes are. Just draw them out and just, double that up. For the Flash, I just, from the nose area, I came down and just made the mouth part like that. For Zoom, all I did was cut out the eyes and then, just make that. I make it like this, a little extra on all the way around so I can make the adjustments. Some come up higher than others. But, I usually cut, and from here you can either just run it straight down, wherever fits perfect, or, kind of give it, little different types of designs. Hopefully this helps, hopefully you can get better work. But like I said, there's a lot of channels on here that you can get, how to make this. I'll redirect you to those. But yeah, I hope that helps, and I apologize for all the, that's out of the shot type shots that I do have. I apologize. This is my Zoom pre-cut, just real basic. Then this is it just cut up. I added some pieces, just creativity. This is my Flash. I just cut out the mouth, the basic generic template. Cut out the eyes. I wasn't too satisfied with, so I tried a second one. I liked it a little better, formed it, used a little heat gun to it. This is my Deadpool. Like I said, all it is just some 2mm strips that separate it and then paint. This is the Borderlands mask. Excuse me. My Borderlands mask prior to being cut. This is it. I just draw on it, cut it out with a little X-Acto knife, form it how I want it. This is my Blue Beetle, my first Blue Beetle. All that is just 2mm layers, that I drew and pasted on there. This is my second attempt at a Red Hood since my very first one about 5 months ago. I just heat formed it, put it all together, and then painted it. And that's what makes it different from the others. So it's really not a whole lot going on. Just like I said, it just comes down to creativity and imagination. So, like I said, you had any questions, just hit me up on here.